Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is the second Tuesday of the month, which means another live cast of Hanging with R&D. This is our second one, so it's going to be extra special for sure. So thanks for joining us. We'll go over a couple things. First, we'll kind of recap where we are, what we're doing. This is spooky month. It is October, so we said we would reveal. We were going to go and do our haunt, so we will get into that. We have a new little feature that kind of butts into Can Ryan put the beer back where it belongs? A little showcase coming at you. That'll be our little halftime that you guys will get a chance to see. There's a rumor of some weird interference that we've been getting, some undescribable things that just seem to happen with our stream. So I'm really nervous that that's going to happen again. So keep an eye out for some weird kind of pirated broadcasts during our stream. Rather strange, but keep an eye on it. That could be kind of fun. And yeah, totally weird, right?
Right.
And then we're going to do some spooky games. It's October, so I think it might be Phasmophobia. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm not supposed to reveal that or not yet.
Oh no, I think it's okay to reveal.
Okay, is it?
Yeah, I don't. We're gonna have. Like we said, we're having some technical issues.
Always.
Some out of the world stuff going on.
So here we go. Once again, thank you, and come hang with Ryan and Dan.
And that's where I kick on these buttons.
Yeah, I have
R or the D and the R.
I have buttons to kick on too.
Boom. So
but I have no idea if any of this stuff actually is going to work. So,
all right. So it looks like we're good.
What's up, Dan? How you doing, man?
I'm I now that I'm out of me mode, right? I'm out of producer mode, so
Okay.
I'm so happy to kick in. Look, I did it as best I could, and I'm now in co-host Ed Man mode.
Cool. It is live, and we're just going for it.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot we can do, right?
Yeah. So I'm good.
Well, cool. Let's crack open some beers, because that's kind of what we
Absolutely,
do. We'll
yeah,
kind of get the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you want to get into anything right off the gate here.
Well, my brain still has, so the ATEM is heating up. That's what caused me a new issue. You could say new issue, but apparently it has a static buildup that wasn't there last time. There was no change. And so Ryan's, his game may have static in it through his feed to get his feed. So is where I thought we ironed that one out. Ooh.
Yes. So
Ooh,
it
it's
being
very
October,
colorful. Can we
uh,
this beer, bro?
I got us some Oktoberfests.
Oktoberfest.
This is a Jersey brewery that I've been finding in my local store called Invertas, and their stuff's fantastic. Dan and I drank their East Coast IPA the last time we streamed maybe. So I saw this in the store. I was like, holy shit, they made an Oktoberfest, so I grabbed it, hoping it's good, but I have no idea. But it's Invertas. I think that's how you pronounce it. Some weird
collab.
Oh, it's a collab?
Yeah, LA and Germany.
Okay. Well, cool.
Lager, see?
A lager?
Lager.
Mm-hmm.
Lager, Germany. It's a joke.
Oh, okay. That's good. It's similar to the one we drank last time.
Look how good it looks in the Iron Maiden.
Little hoppy, nice and dry, but malty little Oktoberfest. So, Dan, what are we getting into today? I mean, I kind of went over a little bit in my little Mr. Rogers walk-in. But,
I like that. Yeah, I was expecting all the computers to fail and blow up when you did your walk-in, so I don't know if I paid complete attention to it, but I did get some hints.
Great.
So, true that we have. It's always a difficult thing to get there, but let's skip past that, because that's the same gripe I always have. Yeah. It's always something new. Brain injury does not help. The redig it up, start it over. Blah,
this
blah,
is
blah.
not the how-to behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's certainly not the how to do a podcast. So
how not to?
But I did, as I typed out this one. I love the availability to type in broadcast. I don't have a podcast. I have a broadcast.
Yeah.
Whatever the F happens.
Yeah, I think it's way more of a broadcast at this point than a podcast, because we're not uploading it to any kind of podcast service to where you can pay for it and download it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start saying broadcast.
That works out.
So last let me see if I can chip this up correctly. Last broadcast,
correct,
we asked everyone where would they like to go. Oh wait, not them.
Where
us.
would they like to see us go?
Yeah, where would they like us to go to our annual spooky investigation thingy? So the few people that do watch us answered, and they picked. Drum roll, please.
Booby's Brewery.
Booby's Brewery.
Right. Which is in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania, kind of past
yeah.
Lancaster. And we have a phone call to learn all about it because we are going to try to come at it a little blind. We kind of know what's going on.
In about 20 minutes. Yeah, I noticed that. And I did see that it went black.
Yeah,
Thank you. I will adjust that correctly right now.
So, yeah, we got a phone call with from a gentleman that works at Booby's Brewery. He's going to kind of give us a little history on the haunted history of it. And it is an active restaurant, inn, and brewery. So, they are making beers there. He's going to kind of get into that kind of stuff. And since he's local, he's going to kind of tell us what else is going on down and around there because we're not really from that area. So, yeah, we're excited. We're kind of shifting in a little bit of a direction to where we're going to change it up, kind of make it a little bit more like a travel blog because we're not ghost hunters, as you guys know. So, hey,
there's no such thing as ghost.
Yeah, so far, I'm pretty sure you're correct. But, we do the beer thing, so we're gonna drive out there. We'll hit a disc golf course. We'll give a little review on that and hang out in Mount Joy and chill at Booby's Brewery and drink some beers and maybe hang out with some ghosts. I know there's some prohibition stuff. There's some like catacombs and caves we can go into. So we're pretty excited, but we're not going to get into all the details because we're going to have, our point of contact, our dude here on the phone, and he will go over it with us, and we'll be able to ask him some questions. His name's Phil. Unfortunately, some of our equipment is in the process of being repaired, so it'll be a little bit of a, a speakerphone kind of action. But
which, let's be honest, it's all of our equipment because none of it, not Sony, I won't name things while we still have it out, but seriously, the cameras shut off on their own. They're not supposed to. You do an update, it's not supposed to do that. It's doing it. So.
Yeah, like phantom power, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And things just kind of kick off and on. So.
The ATEM not having the problem that I keep saying it has, but we move on, right?
But yeah, so we'll get into that trip and.
Oh, by the way, that's because we do not have microphones because the Rodecaster is gone. We are lav mic through DJI today, which is a little more tinny because we're in a studio rather than outside with our wireless mics. But it was the easiest solution to get past the problems with combination of OBS, multiplayer gaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's just not one. There's not one thing that's made to do all the things that we were trying to get it to do.
So if you see my little light, it's not my glowing beard. It is exactly what Dan's talking about.
And then what was the? Let's see. The runner-ups though was the Delaware place, and then you found a place, didn't you?
What was the Fort Delaware we were looking at, right? And then we were trying to get somebody to talk to somebody at what's the
Laga.
No, I'll get to that. What was the other place? They're like kind of in a little bit of war between like the people trying to make tons of money and
the one everybody's asking us to do is Pennhurst, which is we almost had an in, and then it got washed away.
No, full.
Well, even the Philadelphia one is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Pennhurst.
That was the Asylum, right? Is that the same thing?
Yes, Pennhurst.
The one that had the beer garden in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
That got weird. But
yeah, it got weird.
We'll keep working on it. But yeah, again, any suggestions you guys have. But no, what you were asking about is late summer. I went on vacay with the fam up to upstate New York. Went to Lake George, and there was just some really cool stuff up there, like Fort Ticonderoga. It's a reproduction because at one point Ticonderoga got like obliterated and burnt to the ground, and it went like completely, like it's a modern rebuild of it. But it's just a cool spot. There's a lot of war history, a lot of French and Indian War stuff, and then there's a Star Trek. Some dude actually rebuilt the whole entire set of the original TV show, like to the exact specifications. Like, hey, he had a copy of the plans and rebuilt it. And it's like a museum. So it's just a cool spot. So that was our other possibility, but didn't work out. So I think Booby's Brewery sounds perfect. It's drivable. There's a bunch of disc golf out
by fun too,
by Lancaster, and yeah, it's an active brewery and restaurant. And Dan and I.
I'm sorry. It is. And ladies and gentlemen, Booby's. That's a boubet, or I'll learn how
The
to say it
boubet.
properly when I see it the next week. I think it is.
Yeah, but we'll find out.
So a little more. I mean, why not talk about technical difficulties? One, because I'll probably watch this and remember they happened. So last time, you probably remember that the main cam cut out before, but it was doing a lot worse because it was relying on the battery when it's not supposed to, when it was supposed to be plugged in. And they did a BIOS update, which squashed that or something. I don't know. I think I'm actually going to make a segment of what am I doing wrong, because it seems to me that every time I don't know if it's brain injury or just bad programmers or something, or YouTube says, "Oh, do it this way," and it doesn't work. But so it is plugged in, and we were here early. That sucker has been
Stayed on the whole time.
Since we got here at 11,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
So 11 on, and then as soon as we started, it went. So I'm hoping to get as many of those hours as it was before it shut off again. So
Yeah, right. Because
I can't. You know, we're only on this for the first 2 hours of the segment, but if it kicks off, I'll have to get up there and adjust it again. But one day the studio will be bigger, and we are looking for the permanent. I don't care how rustic it looks. The 70s style film, Starsky and Hutch cams. I don't care. When I hit the button, just turn on. That's all I want you to do. Just be the same thing that we always set up for.
Right. Absolutely.
But it's a learning process. We got some new buttons today. So we're gonna see how well things work.
Yes, we shall. So have you gotten anything good over Halloween? You done any like haunted hay rides or anything like that, or?
No, but Donna did say that she passed Snipes. I think it's Snipes something or other, and they were jam packed with people trying to get in there. I'm like, because I guess they do a drive-through show, like a light show kind of Christmas thing there.
Okay.
I know I took the kids there one year, and they had a dragster, and it was jumping. But my kids are growing out of that. They still do costumes though. And we did the costumes, but why don't we talk about the 3-4 costumes that you have in mind?
I do. Yeah. I'm not prepared to like pull up imagery, but so Dan and I have. It's actually like the origins of R&D. To be honest with you, it's like kind of where we first.
I do remember. I know the two things that spawned it, but I think the R&D adventures definitely happened because we were looking for a marathon. We were almost at the God Marathon,
God's
right?
Country Marathon.
We almost ran that.
Yeah, I don't think
that would have been. I mean, not that we would have finished it or completed or redid it, but that was our first.
Yep.
And at the tattoo shop while you were tattooing, I remember I found the beer and bagel, which fit. Right?
Yeah, no, it's been perfect. I mean, it's been a constant decline, which is kind of like what always happens to us, like our sophomore slump. But it's a beer and bagel theme, kind of off road. I wouldn't really call it an adventure race, but they're all over the U.S., like different states, and we've been doing it for like 8 years now or something crazy like that.
Mm.
So you got to look at the tattoo.
Yeah,
right. So this will be the 8th year.
Yeah,
no, 7th year.
7th, 5, and 6. It's
or does the Bigfoot count as one? I don't remember.
No. I think it's 7. It's
our
7th year.
So we're running it here soon. It used to always be the first weekend in November.
And that's why we liked it.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it's the second year they've moved it closer to Halloween. So it's Sunday before Halloween, which
they're
sucks.
looking for more of that mudded run kind of feel. Get the youngsters in there.
Right? Which totally sucks because the tattoo shop's Christmas party. Dude, why have I been doing that? The tattoo shop's Halloween party is the night before.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Mel's taking the time off. She's coming out there. I'm not going to not hang out at the shop and have a good time.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be rough waking up at 5 a.m. and going on this run. But whatever. So now since it's closer to Halloween, we dressed up last time. And I had these big giant butterfly wings.
I was Tony Stark, and he was the pride of the parade there. Yeah, the cream of the crop. He got the most attention. They just loved his wings.
One gentleman, I swear, was going to like mug me and stick me in his trunk. What did he say? He's like, I love all of this. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I had butterfly wings on.
That's exactly how it was, ladies and gentlemen. Just as hair on the back of your neck stood up and everything.
I was like, hey.
I was like, hey, it's his Ted Bundy moment. I will film you.
Hey, man. Yeah, I've worked in New Hope for a number of years. It's not the first time a man's tried to pick me up. So this year, I have no idea what I did with my what I did with my butterfly wings. So I'm trying to find some other ideas. So I saved a couple things on my Amazon account, and I wanted Dan to look at them and either tell me I'm absolutely retarded or this is the way to do it.
Yeah, sorry everybody, I forgot. I didn't even think that this would be. This is a great segment, and I would normally key up pictures, but we're learning that in our streams to use that and to be able to click these buttons. But it's not something we don't have there's no people behind the curtain here. If we don't have it queued up, we can't queue it.
Oh
up
yeah,
for
we
you.
don't have a production crew. It's definitely us.
Yeah.
So to try to learn how to do this,
So we got to make
and produce it all at the same time. Because right now I'm piggybacking off of kind of piggybacking off of like ResDev's broadcast, just live streaming through my Twitch.
right.
But we've changed so many things today. I might have no audio, and there's no way for me to know. I mean, someone can chat and tell me, but I don't know who's watching right now. But
Yeah,
if you don't hear anything, please let me know.
Well, I see that. Well, you're certainly queuing off audio.
I am, but with this new setup over here and me having to run the PMP and it not actually be my headset microphone, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's low priority, but I'm just saying. So yes, it's a really good point. We are like live learning and
completely. And
Trying-
if you see something, go ahead and shout out.
trying to perform.
I can't guarantee you'd be correct, but
Why is my Amazon not? There we go. All right. Gotta make sure no camera can see my phone.
and
So
the beer and bagel run. I just wanted to add this little sophomore effort thing that we keep saying usually at our things.
Yeah.
So if beer and bagel, if you're listening, the first 2 years we went, which obviously it was 7 races ago, right? So the first 2 years we went, there was beer at the halftime because it's a beer and bagel run.
yeah, they have like water stations that runs. It was literally little Dixie cups of Coors Light. They had water too.
Yeah.
So and it was clearly labeled.
You could, and they told you what one you wanted, and you slowed down, and you got and the Sasquatch was there.
Hilarious.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And they came back. I understand changing out the brewery or whoever hosts it or whatever it is, and the best chili that we have first 2 years, best bagels.
And it was like a true like party. It was more about the beer than about the run.
Yeah.
It was a good
beer
mix.
and bagel run, right?
It was like people that were there. They're like, I got to do what for a beer? Like it wasn't professional races. There was a couple here and there.
Yeah.
But now it's totally
So
gravitated.
it switched gears.
Changed.
And remember, it was in November. It wasn't October. And obviously we didn't go there years prior. But here's an idea. There was a bottle opener as your 2 tickets for those 2 years. And then it went
metal.
from bottle opener to just a metal. And you're like, okay.
I think I have it hanging.
Oh yeah. If you want to show in your cam. So then it went from that. So that just tells you that the inner workings was changing, right? So then along with the metal change, then there was no beer table. There was no halfway beer table. And then with that, everybody was starting to walk around and kids are stuff, and then marathoners are coming in. And,
Oh my
and
gosh, I remember
breaking time records.
One
and stuff
guy
like
was
that.
like making fun of my shoes. He was like, ugh, look at that guy's shoes. He
Oh,
doesn't
the
even know what
wrong
he's
shoes
doing.
to do this kind of run.
Yeah, as he's like using one of those like muscle temperers. Where he's like, and they're like,
and then we were like,
they're like jumping and
and realize that's what you did. You took it from enjoying, getting, and I get it, the way people sue people and do things crazy.
and a lot of
your camp.
a lot of time people just need to be like, I'm here to make money just so my farm can keep going.
Yeah,
I kind of
cool,
get that, but I don't know. So it's just changed. But we're hard ass Marines, and we can't just not do what we always do.
Yeah.
So we just go and we complain every year, and
Yep.
we're always hoping that it goes back to like party beer and not like a professional race where I care. Oh man.
And which is basically, I like to say that about Horror Hound too. Horror Hound did it too. It used to be cool, all about the party and the people, and then it switched to get your money, and boy, it just went downhill.
Yep. So Dan and I have a tendency to like find these things where we're like, holy shit, this is awesome. Let's keep doing this, and then it's never the same.
Yeah, as soon as we label it.
But we keep going. We keep
But
going.
go ahead,
anyways.
let's hear the costume picks.
Yeah, so I don't think any of these are going to work, right? Because it is a 4-mile off-road race. But the fact that it was
Four-ish.
beer and bagel, I thought I might buy an old school beer helmet.
Ah,
But
bringing
it's,
the
but it's
beers
still
back.
running with a helmet for 4
Yeah,
years.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's not a
I
good
don't
idea.
know.
And then the other one I thought was...
Not just the helmet.
I wouldn't actually put beer in it.
Oh no. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
what would be the point?
I don't know, because it would just add more weight to my dome.
The
And
beer
then
people.
I had the like a rooster hat, because it is kind of
Rooster?
cold.
Yeah,
I usually
yeah,
run
yeah.
with a beanie. So it's like a
There's
rooster
just no reason for it.
mask beanie. There is just no reason for it. And then I was thinking about maybe running in like a onesie suit but I got to be comfortable.
Well, I'll give you that. For some reason, it is very cold on that morning.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I don't know if it is. It doesn't stay that way, but
And then I thought maybe just like running in like a pumpkin onesie.
yeah, I like it.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have a costume kind of
If
figured
I
out.
was to pick anyone,
Probably the rooster mask, I think, is the one that's going to be the most
yeah.
kind of like runnable. Thought I had more saved in here, but I guess not.
Rooster mask. Hey, everybody, let him know. Get in on his Instagram.
Yeah,
Say
or
you want to run a
if
rooster mask.
anybody has a good idea on like an easy kind of running costume, I really wish I could find
Now,
like
does the rooster
butterfly wings.
mask mean you're wearing white wings on the back as a flying chicken?
I mean, we could run out quickly like we did
See if
last
you
time.
can
and
find
go
the
to
white
some-
wings that
yeah,
put
go to
with your
some kind of
rooster
store.
mask. Well,
Yeah.
get your rooster mask first.
All right, I'll do it. I'll pull the trigger on that one.
You get them on. Oh, that'd be interesting, everybody. Foghorn Leghorn running on the race there.
Yeah, I saw some photos of the guy like running in a chicken costume, but I couldn't find the one that he was running in. The only ones I could find just didn't seem conducive to running.
What? Let me tell you the danger too. So if somebody thinks, "Oh, I'm going to be a T-Rex, so I'm going to run this run," let me now tell you how it is on this run. So first, depending on how it starts. Now I did twice in the year. It started off at the Pine Forest. So you have your Christmas tree farm that's
It
been
is a
cut
tree
down stubs, right, in the area that you're running. So watch for those. It's an uphill, downhill, and it's November, so you're getting this cold wetness on a thick grass into mud dirt thing, up hills, down hills. And I remember sliding at least 10 feet on my sneakers straight down and then catching gravel. So, and then if that wasn't enough, then you run through a pumpkin patch. Watch out for the pumpkin landmine root ones.
The pumpkin patch of death. That was a
Yeah.
rough one here.
So, and then you get pavement and basically mud. And for the love of God, if I ever run it and know exactly where I'm going, like running around a corner, and then so you have two signs coming up, and you're like, and then you look at the people in front of you, and they could have went either way, whatever this, just to get to like where their start was, because it does a lot of this looping back and forth, and you're like,
Yeah, and then there's people that are
Yeah.
like professional runners, and they're like, boom, and they
They're
just take
gone.
off. So
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, you just see people like up the hill
Yeah.
and like you're like, where the F am I supposed to go?
Yeah, I remember being so mad at some marathoner so badly. I think it was on my last leg, my last mile I'm coming in. And I'm a Marine. We used to run, but I'm old now, and the brain just doesn't agree with half of the destroying of the body that I do. So he comes back to get his group, and he's like, "Oh my God, you guys are still here? I ran it twice already." Just wanted to kick him in the kneecaps. I was like,
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
but I not that I do it, and I don't condone it. I'm just saying it was the first thought that came to him.
Violence.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, cool. How are we looking on time? So, got a couple more
go ahead
minutes
and,
before our phone call.
yeah, we slotted it down for 3:30.
Yes, as we're real. Oh, and there it goes again.
Somebody mentioned that it's an England thing.
An England thing.
Yeah, so
Like,
they
'cause
said
they did
an
a
England
Robertson-
task. So you're not going nowhere, everybody. I'm just gonna hit "be right back." Oh, I'm gonna type in "be right back."
Yeah, I'll do one too because I want to see if my mics are working.
I'm gonna type in a "be right back" just so we can see if I can switch up. And we're live.
And we're back. So, Dan, what did you find out? Why is our camera feed going blank?
So I went back to. So now we're back to how long the battery lasts mode. So the questions are endless. So is it heating up? Is it saying, "Hey, I had enough"? But soon we won't be reliant on that camera no more.
Yeah, why is that?
Because I'm going to replace that fucking thing.
Okay, good.
But what beeth I say? That's all I have.
Okay. Cool, man. So we can get ready for this phone call. I sent him a message earlier before we started. He didn't get back to me. So hopefully this is a go. Let's see. He did not respond. Yep. He did.
You did?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
He just responded when I said, "Hey, we're gonna hit you up right around 3:30," and he said, "Yeah, I'm good."
Cool. So in a couple minutes. So everyone, because the Rodecaster Pro would have allowed us to pull in that audio, you're going to hear us. It's going to get really ghetto. You're going to hear the speakerphone through our lav mics, but I'm going to stay quiet. Let Ryan.
No, you're not. Don't you dare.
No, I'm not going to talk over. I'm going to look for my spots to talk in. I know I get yelled at a lot of times when they say, "Oh, you cut me off." I have a problem with that. Yeah, it's called banter. That's how you talk. A lot of Marine Corps higher ups than me, when they were asking me questions, they were like, "Did you just cut him off? He doesn't have me standing in orders. I'm talking because this is how banter works."
Right.
Usually if you want me to go into attention order mode, issue me into order mode. That's how that works.
Yeah, phone calls are always difficult too because you're not you can't actually see.
Especially when in a mission like mission readiness, they're like, "I need you to have this, this, and this. Is that going to be a problem?" I'm sorry. Am I supposed to speak now? I've lost my train of thought.
All right, man. We are punctual. It is 3:29. You want me to wait till right at 3:30 to call?
We are soap now. Go ahead and do it.
All right. So we're giving Phil. I don't know if he wants his last name out or not. So
yeah, let's just keep it Phil.
We'll just keep it Phil for now.
Hello?
Yo, Phil. What's up, man? It's Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You are you're live on our little broadcast here, hanging with Ryan and Dan.
Why is it got to be little?
It's just the two of us for now.
Just the two of us.
So how you doing, Phil?
I'm good. I'm actually doing what I've been doing for the past couple months and working on building Halloween stuff.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. Just for yourself personally or what?
Well, yeah, but also one of the things I do at Booby's Brewery is I do the big 2-day party that we have there.
Ooh, how come we didn't know about that?
Yeah, right on. When's that?
It's always the weekend closest to Halloween proper, but this year it's Friday, October 28th, and Saturday, October 29th.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Right on, man.
Awesome.
Cool.
So check that out, everybody, if you want to see a big bash.
Yeah, that's a good little segue. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at Boobies and what Boobies is, if you're cool with that.
And are we saying it correctly?
Yeah, are we pronouncing it right?
Yes, you are saying it correctly.
Okay.
It's spelled BUBE''S.
Gotcha.
It is a German surname.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
It's pretty much always the first question that we get.
Yeah. Well, my brain, because I have brain injury, so every time we say it, my brain's going, "You're saying bad words? You're saying bad words?"
Bad words.
Yeah.
And it makes it difficult if like you're trying to talk to a girl, you know.
Yeah, as where you work.
For sure. Yeah. Fantastic.
I'm Phil. I'm Phil Narsh. I work at the brewery as an actor in Murder Mysteries there, and like I said, I'm also in charge of the big Halloween celebration. And yeah, just basically, I also do the historic tours and any other little jobs that can come up here and there.
Fantastic.
I'm curious. Do you do? So you say it's only one time a year that you guys do the murder mystery, or you don't do it any other times of the year?
Oh no, the Halloween's the one time a year thing. The murder mysteries, we do them all year round.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Nice. Maybe we'll do one time.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, absolutely. So you are a professional actor. Is that kind of like your day job? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I've been acting my whole life.
Right on.
One way or another. And yeah, I love it. It's, just a couple hours of basically insulting people for money.
Nice.
That works out right on.
Audience interactive, and we are encouraged to sort of lead them off the trail of what they're, if they're trying to figure out.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I've seen them advertised. I've never done one, but we should
Yeah.
definitely make a point at some point. So can you tell us a little bit more, like specifically about boobies? Like the whole reason why we kind of got into this with you is that, for whatever reason around Halloween, Dan and I kind of find ourselves going to historic locations that may or may not be haunted. So your guys,
Which was actually cool that Phil reached out right after which we met him at the gaming convention.
That is correct. Yep.
And we got to see his acting firsthand, not the rude, interrupting type, but more of an advertisement, which they did a great job.
Yes, that was when we were working for a video game company at the what was it? Too Many Games.
Too Many Games,
yeah,
Tom.
Too
Yep.
Many Games. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, tell you a bit about Boobies and a bit of a short history about it. So it was founded in 1859, and Boobies Brewery is the oldest full-standing pre-Prohibition brewery in America.
Okay.
You might have heard of a place called Yuengling.
Yes.
That is the oldest brewery in America, and technically that is true, but their original building is no longer around.
Gotcha.
Oh, gotcha.
We're the oldest still standing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We're on the National Registry of Historic Places, not once but twice. Once for the brewery and once for the hotel. And
oh well, that answers one of my questions. So they are connected, kind of thing. Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
but they're congruent buildings. Like you can walk from one to the other inside without going outside. But because of just how things work, we ended up getting 2 National Registry plaques for historic places.
Gotcha.
Yeah, fantastic. Right on. And we're actually staying at the hotel that night. So
Yeah, we
cool.
are.
Continue,
Yes.
please.
And so, it's like a lot of older places, we are extremely haunted, and
Well,
yeah.
we're gonna put that to a test.
Well, for as long as we're there.
Yeah,
But,
for as long as
but
we're
yeah, right on.
They're friendly ghosts though, and we have pretty regular paranormal investigators who come through, and we also do 2 kinds of ghost tours. There's one that's like a ghost stories tour, and then one that is an active investigation tour that you can go on with the paranormal investigators.
Oh, nice. We've done actually that. Well, not yours. Well, I'm not speaking of yours in any way, but we have done that setup before. And I think the most interesting, actually twice, right?
We have,
Twice
yeah.
we've done that. The most interesting thing I think we found in both cases was they're louder than we thought they would be.
Oh, those guided tours.
Yeah. Not the paranormal investigators. We thought they were going to be hush hush. They are the loudest group of people I've ever gone through anything quiet with.
Yes, they've definitely been
Yeah.
some interesting characters that we.
What was the term right before they did something?
Oh, he would scream flash.
Oh,
before
flash.
He would take a flash photograph to let you know.
Yeah.
But they never told you ahead of time. So there's this kid just screaming flash, and then they're taking photos, and Dan and I are in the corner petrified. But whatever, we digress.
Okay, yeah.
Let me ask you another question, Phil. Have you personally had any paranormal experiences since you've been working there for so long?
Yeah, I actually have. Pretty much everybody who works there in some way has seen or heard something that they can't really explain.
So tell us about it. Tell us, tell us about one of your
absolutely.
experiences.
Well, see, like I said, I do a lot of little random jobs there sometimes, and one of the jobs that I used to do a lot more of was helping to paint and renovate the place.
Okay.
It's a great job, by the way, for a building from the 1800s because you're never out of a job.
Good point.
That's a whole different thing. But anyway, so sometimes I would have to stay, late overnight to be working on that, so I could get up super early in the morning, and they just let me stay in the hotels, because I'd be working there. So there have been a number of times where I was the only person in the entire building. And one of those nights, it was a little after 2 a.m., and for what I'm told is the most active time for that sort of stuff, I went out to the top balcony on the top floor, and as I was putting my hand on the door to leave, I heard from behind me what sounded very clearly like a young man saying "Allo," but it didn't sound like hello, like the way that like an American
Gotcha.
English-speaking person would say it. It sounded like alo.
Oh, more like that Amish kind of.
Like an accent.
Well, like the way that a German-speaking
Okay.
person.
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was right from behind my head, and I responded. It was the sort of thing where like it's not like a chill ran down my spine or anything. I didn't. Yeah, it sounded like a person. So I responded to it the way that I naturally would. I went into work mode and was like, sometimes when you stay in the hotel or sometimes like after they close, people will be like wandering around like, oh, am I supposed to be up here? And
Oh,
Gotcha,
right.
gotcha.
I responded to it that way. I was like, hello, yes, can I help you? Hi. And I walked around the corner and there was absolutely no one. And the only way they could have gotten in that way was a very heavy locked door or out the way that I came in.
Gotcha.
So I just stood there for a second, just being like, okay.
All right. Okay, cool, man. Right on, dude. I'm
Yeah,
I'm always excited.
I mean, I'll say it. I think when we started this off, Ryan was the what you would be the closest to believing it.
Yeah, right. The one
I
that
would
like
say
is
that.
always like up for the possibility of it.
And I say that they don't exist, but it's only out of scientific fact. But I'm open. Tell me to stand wherever I need to stand.
Yeah.
I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Is the thing, like I don't happen to really particularly believe in ghosts. I'm not a spiritual or religious person, but it's like I don't happen to go out of my way to try to prove gravity, but I know that when I drop something, it falls.
Yep, that's a
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good point.
absolutely.
I agree with that completely, right? Like that's my thing. It's like we go out there, we try to go with very little bells and whistles. We've had too many things happen with FLIR, with infrared, so we kind of drop that. So we kind of go in bare bones, and I'm waiting to have that personal experience. But I'll never like completely like knock something down and say no. Like I'm always open to the possibility of it.
Yeah, no, it's an old building, and like if you believe that sort of thing, there's only one person that ever died in the building,
Okay.
the founder, but it was an active hotel for over 160 years.
Nice.
So
Nice.
believe in that sort of like it's a lot of people, it's a lot of energies moving through one space over the course of a very long time.
Yeah, I'll give you the energies thing.
Yeah.
I'm a big firm believer of that, though.
But absolutely switching the gears a little bit, but worst case scenario, maybe we don't have any kind of personal experiences, but it does happen to be a modern restaurant and brewery, right?
Well, no, and it fits. It's right down our alley. Just as we learned in the Stanley, it may not we see anything that happens, but it is a great place to be and go see historically wise.
Right.
You
So-
don't encounter any spirits, but there are plenty of
Yeah.
spirits, yes.
Yeah. So can you?
And
tell-
I heard there's beer there.
Yes, exactly. So can you tell us a little bit about like the modern like brewing, like what's going on, like how long they've been making beer? Is it like a Beermeister? Like, well, what's the deal with that? Because we're definitely beer guys and like good eats too. So we're also excited about it being an active brewery and restaurant. So
Yeah, we still brew beer there. We don't do it exactly the same way as we don't have this recipe anymore as our brewer. But he was Mr. Alois Booby was one of a lot of German citizens who came over in the late 1800s during this sort of like beer rush. It was like a gold rush for brewers because. And you know all of his contemporaries. I'm sure you're familiar with them, like Pabst and Miller.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Budweiser, Busch and Coors. Those are all German citizens who came over to brew beer. And Mr. Ruby was just one of the. He was one of the contemporaries of them that just didn't go national. But yeah, we still do try to. We make a lot of. That we have a handful of beers, I think, on right now that are close to traditional German style lagers and things like that.
Sweet, fantastic.
I'm gonna get I'm gonna try to get the brewer to come hang out with you guys.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, his name is Mitch. He's a really nice guy, and he lives right down the street. So I was like, hey, you're not doing anything. So
Yeah.
Nice.
when you guys come, I'm going to get the brewer to come talk to you because he can speak much more intellectually about the brewing process than I can. I just know that the 1800s side of it. He's much more up on the modern side.
Cool. That's fantastic. Yeah, because like Dan and I, we're still learning too. You know, we're getting more and more serious about like our beer drinking and reviewing and whatnot. And there's yeah, that's gonna be great. I'd have a ton of questions to ask the guy if he was able to make it down. That's fantastic. But regardless, it's not hard to drink a beer.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So great. And it's like an active restaurant too, right? It's like Americana kind of fare. Like, you know, we haven't really looked at the menu or anything like that, but like, what are we talking about? Like burgers and all the kind of standards, or what?
Well, I know when we looked it up, it was interesting just to look at the place, and
Oh, dude, it looks fantastic.
yeah. So I'm upset that you couldn't get your Dark Princess room at the lodge, but it does. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
Cool.
Yes. No, yeah, just standard American fare. We also do fine dining in the catacombs. So they have everything from just sort of pub food to like kind of higher class stuff.
Great, fantastic. So I guess the other thing we were going to kind of ask you about, like, so we're not really from the area. Like, I mean, if there isn't anything, but we're just curious. We're kind of shifting gears a little bit. If we make our way out there, like in that general area, is there anything else we should check out that you know of? Is there any other, you know, museums, monuments, or just cool eats or drink spots that you're a fan of? That's like a kind of can't pass if we're up in that area.
Well, I will tell you one other cool thing. Mountjoy isn't a very big town, so there isn't a whole lot right around there. But one thing that is just a few blocks down the street that's connected to the whole sort of paranormal, supernatural aspect of things. There's this awesome little shop called Moonraven Alley.
Okay, can you say that again? It's what?
Moonraven Alley.
Okay, Moonraven. Gotcha.
They're what is called a metaphysical supply store.
Mm-hmm. We have a bunch in the town that I work at, so I'm very familiar with what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they're an awesome little place. We have we do a vendor. We actually do a halfway to Halloween thing where we have vendors in the spring, and they're one of our biggest vendors.
Oh, nice. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Where they come set up in the catacombs or something.
Well, we have them all set out on tables in the beer garden.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And it's like our halfway to Halloween thing, where it's like, hey, Halloween's only a year away. Get ready for it now, quick.
It's like Christmas in July, but for Halloween.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
To have it, Halloween gets to happen.
Phil, I got a question for you. Being I'm just gonna pick the bone here a little bit. So obviously, being there, you must have heard, like, in no way does someone have an experience without sharing it with the people that are already there.
Uh-huh.
If you were to tabulate all the experiences, what would you say the most common time of day that they happen is?
Well, from what I hear, it's later into the evening. It's like after 2 or 3 a.m. when everything gets quiet. When because it is, it's a bar and restaurant and everything. It's very busy.
Right.
Buzzing with stuff already. So if like a cup were to fall, we probably wouldn't call it a ghost. We would probably just continue on with,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's a good point.
But from what I've heard, the most active stuff is, right before, like a couple hours before dawn, after like around 3 a.m.-ish kind of time. I haven't been on one of the official tours myself, but I've talked to a lot of people who have, and especially people who are there closing up late at night, or staying over. That's something we hear. Oh, and also the banquet hall, which I'll show you, has been purported to be the most haunted.
Oh, great. Yeah. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. I just want to come prepared, you know what I mean? And certainly for scheduling and equipment, I just want to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you all around. I'm excited to have you guys here.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there anything that you just kind of want to add that any question we didn't ask, or something you just want to tell us about?
Well, I guess I just give a plug to the place.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. If you have anything to plug yourself too, if you want to throw out your social media or whatever you want to do, but yeah, man, go for it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, check out Boobies on Facebook or boobiesbrewery.com. Just make sure how you're spelling that. when you put that into
Yeah, you might get a whole different channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a mishap earlier. Luckily, I wasn't capturing my screen. I had a very innocent Google search, but all my restrictions
Went
were turned
awry.
off, and,
Yeah,
and
went awry.
some things happened. So I totally understand. So yes, BUBE''S, correct, sir?
BUBES.
Okay, there you
And,
go.
Oh, yeah,
if
for
you
Facebook.
can, if you're in the area, please come check out our big Halloween party. I've been working on it for about 4 months now.
Well, you know what? This will probably air right before then. So what I'll put is for everyone that's watching or watches it then, we'll recap it because we're broadcasting now, but this event will actually go up if edited by then. I'll put it in the description for your dates, your thing. And you say you do it every year, so I'll make sure we'll put that in there.
Yeah, and dude, we're gonna promote our trip as in our own personal social medias. I'll put a post out there for all like my tattoo stuff. So yeah, we're gonna plug the shit out of you guys, and we kind of can't wait to get there.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's our biggest party of the year, 2-day thing. I just yesterday was talking with the fire breathers, and
Oh wow.
Oh, nice. Do you guys do a costume contest as well?
yes, we'd also do a costume contest with prizes.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll bring you up one of our banners. We'll sponsor.
Yeah. Maybe we can do donate
Yeah,
something to a prize.
That
or
way
whatnot.
for a prize for your costume
That's
contest.
cool. Yeah,
Cool.
we can talk about that.
All right, awesome, man. Dude, thank you so much, man. It's great talking to you again, and we will touch base before we make our trip up there. But dude, we can't wait. This is kind of the most excited I've been for one of our little Halloween jaunts.
Is it because beer's involved?
Well, we always figure out.
All right, we'll see you there.
All right,
Take
Bill.
care,
I'll
Bill.
talk to you soon, man. Thank you for the call, man, and we will haul at you later.
Yep. Good.
All right, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, that's a good setup. I'm kind of even more enthused.
Yeah, I'm excited. Phil's a great guy. He seems, our kind of people, super excited, very accommodating or whatnot. So yeah, we're spending the night there. We figured that out now. It's almost
So yeah, your little cheat sheet. That's nice.
yeah.
Smart.
It's like a little like hostel type place to the point where
I just wanted to make sure we didn't go over.
that was the time.
Yeah.
Look
Right
at
on.
us. It's just we're naturals at this.
Yeah.
No. So we're spending the night there. It's kind of more like not a bed and breakfast, more like a hostel. So it's like a one common bathroom.
Yeah.
Which they made a point when I booked the rooms to kind of let me know, just so you guys know. And I was like, well, we were Marines, so we can rough it for one night. But they're all like themed and decked out, and it looks like we'll have opportunities to walk around at night after they close. We'll be able to film in the rooms. And then we have the whole next morning as well to kind of go in. So we have a whole plan. We're not going to spoil too much right now, but yeah.
And he had a good point with the gravity thing.
Yeah, it's a good point, right?
Gravity exists. You don't need to do anything about it.
Greetings to all. I am Commodore Conspirator. I will be joining you monthly to dish about the latest conspiracy. To all my co-conspirators, wrap your heads around this one. You are a simulation. Elon Musk said, "There's a slight chance you are real. Technology will evolve so much that life will be indistinguishable from the virtual. And in 1,000 years, civilization will either perish or you'll be an NPC, a non-player character, in a virtual sandbox called History Class." This is Commodore Conspirator. Until next time, watch your back.
We're back. What was that? What was going on? That crazy?
Told you, man. Like past couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's like tachyons from the future or something.
Tachyons. Yeah, that's
Yeah, man.
tachyons.
No, it's called tachyons.
I agree that it's tachyons. So
All
weird.
right. So
And
who was
wait a
that?
minute. So the guy just says we don't, gravity exists. You don't have to defend it. And then what? Now we're in a simulation? What's
So
going
what
on?
did the guy that just pirated our broadcast? What did he call himself?
He is Commodore Conspirator.
the
And
Commodore
apparently he's going to
Conspirator.
interrupt us every month.
Huh, that's something new.
Something new.
So I guess we need to talk about what's that stuff called again?
Yeah.
What-
You're in a simulation.
Simulation
Yeah.
theory.
And that
Okay.
is so I heard you did some research on it.
I have done a little
I've
bit of
witnessed
research.
a little bit of your research.
Yeah, absolutely. So simulation theory is the concept that none of this is real, that we are a part of some kind of outworld simulation. It could be so many different things. That's like the whole point of it, because it is just a theory. But we're actually like avatars and being controlled somewhere else. And none of this is real. Like, what's to prove that what we're experiencing right now is not a video game or some kind of simulation?
And just on the psychology of it, I would understand the proof, right? A very interesting thing I saw it. I'm trying to remember where it was the person. I'll have to remember where I just heard it. Was too interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. I was at the VA, and they were asking me. They asked me a question. Now, this VA question was obviously because my mental is degrading, right? So, but when they asked the question, it's like you took it. It's like, hey, 2 + 2 is 4. Obviously, that's the answer they wanted to hear. You want to move on from 2 + 2 is 4. But when they asked this question, my brain's going, wow, that's a very interesting question. And it starts doing this whole side event while he's going into Peanut's mom mode, right? And it said, tell me the similarities between a clock and a ruler.
Instead of 2 + 2.
Yeah, instead of 2 + 2. This was the actual question. Clock and a ruler. Tell me the two similarities between a clock and a ruler.
They're both measurements of something.
And that is probably the answer they want to hear. You could dumb it down and say they both got numbers on them or something
Both
like
have
that.
wood. Both
Yeah. But the interesting thing is that answer. They measure something, but it's what they measure. One is the physical, the other is the mental.
It's a construct.
It's a construct,
time.
a construct of what you determined as a length of time is fictitious, right?
But isn't a unit of measurement also fictitious?
Exactly,
Based
but
some kind
on
of
two different levels.
Correct.
Is this category? So I understand when they say simulation theory, and you're saying you're trying to disprove or prove, or disprove or prove it. How can you? How can you when you're in the simulation? You're given the palette you were given to paint from
Mm-hmm.
is in the simulation. So how are you going to disprove the thing you're in, or how do you prove the thing that doesn't exist?
Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of don't know exactly what statement or what direction to go into right now. But you're right. But that's kind of like the ultimate question, right? I think simulation theory is a modern interpretation of just like what's the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Right.
Why are we here?
Because
What are we?
yeah, there's one thing that I heard that I thought was a great little explanation, was like back in the day when, so the idea is that the forerunning, the most like advanced thing at that time is used by people how to describe how things work. So like back in ancient times, like the aqueducts were like the most like amazing piece of technology that ever existed. So they believed that like fluids in the body is what controlled the brain or whatever, right? And then as things became more and more modernized, they have electricity, so it's electrical impulses. And now we're in this amazing time, especially with Dan and I being gamers, is that like video games are just super powerful right now. They're super immersive. The graphics are great. There's these huge open worlds that like never end and are constantly learning. So that's why there's a rise of simulation theory, because that's where we are technology-wise, and that's what people are associating with right now. And I think that's a really interesting concept.
And I get it. What Elon said is, if you go a little further in time, like say 1,000 years, and we're still progressing at this rate, and I agree. Because think about the input. So your drawbacks are graphics. Well, let's say if you leave graphics and you go straight with inputs to the brain, you don't have to worry about graphics anymore. If it's straight inputs to the brain, it will be the vision that you have.
Correct. It'll be
you won't
exactly,
need there won't be a GPU card that handles it. It'll be a processor that handles the visionary box, right? Sort of like the Soma game that you're playing on your stream, right?
Yeah.
So
Soma.
So then the other restriction becomes the paddle, your integration into it,
The peripheral?
you're able to your behavior. But if they make it to this, then it'll solve both problems, right? You'll be able to move in it, but then, and I agree, you have to say, oh, how are you going to distinguish then from now? That's not the argument. The argument is how are you going to distinguish here and then,
Right.
right? Oh, well, we didn't get there yet because he didn't write that yet. Like, you're not allowed to live in the time that it's available because then it'd be harder for you to cope with the time that you're in.
Right, because they touched on that in the Matrix films,
Right.
right? They're like, for some reason, it's the peak of the 21st century is the only thing that works. Like, we gave them a utopian future that came crashing. I think it's a specific reason for that one simulation where we don't necessarily know that's it. But I think that's great. You talk to some people, like in some of the documentaries or videos you can watch online. It's interesting to hear certain people's interpretation of it, right? There was one gentleman that I listened to for a little while, and he's obviously super bright and he's big into math, and he creates this whole like spreadsheet and just this huge like data driven kind of individual, and he just tracks everything he does, like every time he sees a red car or whatever, right? And that's what allows him personally to kind of believe that the high probability of us living in a
Now I'll give you
simulation, 'cause
on
he
that
sees
person
patterns.
specifically when he says the term, he goes, if I thought of this person and then see him around the corner. Now I'll bring up another segment 1 second as I fix the camera.
Oh wow, I wonder how long that's been out.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to
No,
talk.
it just went out.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it just went out?
Yeah.
So now for us, and what we're talking about in modern times, it's simulation theory. But I think it's not necessarily a completely new concept, right? Because I've not dabbled, but I've like picked up on certain things. Like I love to reference Einstein and spooky occurrence or quantum entanglement, right?
Right.
Which is, we're not necessarily talking about like simulation theory, but somehow we're all kind of connected on some kind of subatomic level, right? It's all been done before. Like we can tap into this free flow of information. And that's why things like, not necessarily deja vu, but like your buddy buys a specific type of car.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden you just see that type of car everywhere. It's like, now we're kind of like tuned into it. Or on the flip side, right? Like how some individual who can just pick up not an ancient, but like an old math textbook and extrapolate all these kind of formulas just for some basic fundamentals of math, right? That's quantum entanglement. That's like all the information's out there. It's just whether or not we can tap into it. So now I think like simulation theory is just like a different version of that.
Yeah, and I would agree, and I think it was, and I wish I had it. Maybe I'll find it later to segment it in later. But it's a PlayStation old commercial, where it's a red balloon. The girl's walking around the city, and she starts seeing these things, red balloon, and then a red balloon pops up, and it was to let you know that you're still in the game. It was some, they were advertising some game.
Okay.
But I remember when I was way young, right, and being a magician was still a cool thing, and I had the deck of cards, right. And it wasn't a question of can you do Queen, Jack, 10, or 9, or whatever. It was the question, can you do black and red? Now, I sat there long enough to do a whole deck of black and reds. And then I realized, oh, man, check this out. I can do black and reds. So then it broke the how. Like, you can't do that. So then it became to these little nuggets, which I understood the guy. Like, I thought of that person, and then they showed up. I witnessed them all day, and I think everyone does. But here's how I think on it. So I remember being a Marine and being strapped for cash, have to pay for things, going down into whatever they call that casino right outside 29 Palms. And I'd park at the top, walk down, play roulette, boom, 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 get $300 and walk out of there. Just because I said I don't want to take too much, I'm just going to do black or red, and I'm going to walk out of there. And I did it as many times as I needed to do it or whatever. And I have times that we used to play poker, I used to do the same thing, right?
Well, yeah, because an interesting segue, not to interrupt you, I've been looking forward to this conversation just because I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
And you process information very differently than most people that I've ever met. And we've had conversations, but I've been there and I've seen the shit happen when it comes to you and how quickly you can read a room or read a person or say one thing and then so I've had odd experiences
Yeah.
with you, and I've
certainly
seen
been things, right?
I've seen the way you and I don't do it. I don't have the experiences, but I can see it when I'm with you.
So
Sometimes.
that's why I spoke in one of these conversations I had when I was an instructor with other in that field of IT. Your peers are always big brained, right? So we used to do this. I forget what it was called, 20-pound brain bag or something the general called us or whatever. We used to have these lunches and we'd talk whatever the thing was. And I remember I think he's a warrant officer now, Fulgham, or at staff sergeant at the time, and he brought up the gray matter in your brain and percentages of how much you use and what you don't. And I would argue on that. So back to the simulation thing and the robust of how the body works. You can't account for let's be generous. You can't account for 80% of what the brain does.
Correct.
You don't know your quantum entanglements, which is a huge part of that 80%. 80% also controls stuff you cannot visually see. It's built for a reason. It's active for a reason. It's also active when other parts aren't active, which is your visual, sensual, and stuff like that. It's active. It's doing stuff.
Right.
You don't know how connected or unconnected you are with the world or reality that you are the next one. So again, back to the measurements, how can you determine when you don't even understand how big the clock is or how long the ruler is? But I do, and I think it's always good to express that.
Yeah.
Where are we? What are we? And then I think I did hear one of the guys says, and what I think we are in a simulation. What are you supposed to do with that? Have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's keep the anxiety out of it.
Right, because one of the darker sides they kind of get into is these like people that kind of take advantage of it, right? Where I don't want to get we don't get political here or anything like that, but some of the bad things that have been kind of happening, right? Where there's a bad side to the simulation theory where people are like, well, then I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I can rob and I can hurt people, right?
Yeah.
But then that's the interesting question, right? Or not question, statement, right? Like a good person is just a good person, whether you're in a simulation.
Correct,
or not,
and I've seen it.
right?
Yeah, whether you get like a bad drunk is a bad person,
or just like
you know what I mean?
how you decide to play
yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, or
Yeah, exactly.
let's just say Fable, for example. Right?
How did you play Fable?
I always played good.
Did it break you to get the achievements to play evil?
Oh, I early on I would get anxiety over it, but I was goal oriented. But I always defaulted to good. Mass Effect. I was always Paragon, the blue thing.
Yeah.
That's just, and it's, guess what? That's the kind of guy that I am in this simulation, right? So if this is a simulation, when I play simulations, I'm an extenuation of myself.
Yeah.
But that brings me into a question, right? So here we are, really good friends. We've been through a lot of stuff, right? And we're two individuals, right? We have shared trauma. We have our own trauma, our own experiences. We have shared experiences, right? So let's kick that into simulation theory, right? So let's go with, why am I the way that I am, and why are you the way that you are? Is it your user? I'm just curious of your opinion of things.
So that's probably simulation, though, right?
Yeah, I'm talking simulation theory. So like, I am one way, and I have my personality traits and how I am goal oriented or whatnot, and then you have the
I'm gonna go a little Tron on you. Okay,
yeah, because I'm curious of your opinion. Because I might have my own. So
I would say it's two words. What side of the reality you're on, right? So it's nuances. Right, okay. Of key moments that happen for things that could be said is God programming, right? Mm-hmm. So for instance, my first paper signed in the Marine Corps, Yankee 9 Sierra, I was infantryman. I was going in, and then to leave quicker because I wanted to play the loyal soldier, send me in. I love the flag. Let's go.
Sure.
They go, you mind if we send you open contract? Yes, absolutely. Send me an open contract.
The worst thing ever.
Right? So then I remember doing our boot camp, and I know that if you have to understand, 5 years open contract, it was my 5-year Yankee 9 Sierra, you're going to be a rifleman, right? And I'm like, man, I'm going to be crushing skulls. So it's just a matter of time. And then when I got to MCT, and we're all asking what these fictitious numbers that we could not look up.
I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck it is.
It's not Googleable, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. There was no Google.
That's not an MOS.
Yeah, Yankee 9. What
was it back then?
Well, that was your contract term. That's what they used. Gotcha. It was just as vague as your 4-number MOS. Well, you think about your first years. You didn't even know what that was. We couldn't Google it. No. We didn't know it pre-hand. You trusted your recruiter.
Oh, God.
So then when I remember Sergeant, I can't remember his name, Corporal Sedova. I remember his name. He was infantryman, and Sergeant whatever his name. So they're going around. We're all sitting down. We're drinking water. I think we just got done the M203 range, and we all find out our MOS numbers, and we're all asking, "What's this number? What's this number?"
Yeah.
Trusting that a sergeant knows every number in the Marine Corps
Yeah,
first
yeah.
is vague to.
It's almost like Full Metal Jacket when he's reading
So
out
he
the,
says, I remember the Digivani, Cassette, and myself. So it went in that row, and Cassette asked, and he got radio operator. I forgot what the MOS of the low guy with them was, which was
it was 2500 back
2500,
then. So 2531 back then.
before they changed it, right?
So
So he gets that. He goes, "Oh, you're going to 29 stumps."
Yep.
And that's not. But let me explain to you. I don't remember them all. None of them were good unless you were infantry. Like they were all bad definitions. So I'm like, oh, sorry, mine's 60-60. What's mine? He goes, oh, you'll be cleaning puke out of masks.
NBC.
And I go, what kind of fucking job is that? like wait. And then so mine was listed as aviation life support system. And then when I actually got to school, because our school changed right before I got it. You parachuted. If you packed parachutes, you parachuted. And they changed it. So then you didn't parachute. And then I learned the valuable lesson of it's fantastic until you get that level.
Okay.
Like until you get that rank, until you get that milestone, it then stops becoming fantastic.
Okay, so get to like the tie-in here with.
Yeah, help me out with the tie-in.
It's okay. That's why I'm here. No, I had asked you, like, why am I different? Is it my user? You said you had a Tron.
No. So let's say that I got Yankee 9 Sierra. We would have never met.
True.
I would have been infantry, probably dead. I mean, let's think about it. If I would have been infantry, my survival rate goes down to like 40%.
If I would have passed my flight test in college and commissioned.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I could have crashed.
But I
pilot
think
training.
so you have your strain, which is your code, right? Your string of code, your strain, whatever the strain that was put on you, or whatever you want to say, or that string of code that came across the line. You then have your available responses, which is based off of prior knowledge and history up to that point, or prior programming, or your personality trait, and then you make your decision. And that builds on and builds on, boom, 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 to bring us close. Now, it would make also sense where somebody says, no, things are connected. Things really might not be connected. It's because you are now grouped in such a similar room, right? You've come down to the final ladder that you all pretty much match. You would have to match them. You're next to them. You made it to the same place that they are, so you must have matching programs.
So you're more
that's
under
where the similarities come.
Yeah, so you're more into like we are just what we are, but we're in a program, right? We're not like necessarily avatars. We're not somebody that like logs in and logs out. Right?
I think when you it's a problem of syntax is right there. It's a minutia at that point. Whether you say program or reality, it's what's that word semantics.
Okay, gotcha.
It's semantics of what you want to call it. If you say, oh, we're all part of the universe and we're all connected, it's no different from a simulation, right?
Correct, right? Because like that stuff when I listen to other people talk about simulation theory, that's the one side where I start to kind of check out a little bit, where they talk about how like, you know, the celebrity that comes on and is a one-hit wonder, that was someone logging in and never logging back in, or logging out. And I'm like, or the concept of like non-player characters. Just because I walk past that person
doesn't mean they're a zombie.
Doesn't mean that they're a zombie, right? Like I never liked that kind of concept of it because I'm like so somebody else is controlling me.
Well, see,
right?
I'll give you a flaw on that one though. Meaning they're not turned on, right?
Yeah.
So you can have your shadow, right? Your shadow copy,
right? They like
still active over here, and then when you engage, it switches to here, and they are no longer a zombie because now they are active to reach you over there. But I would argue to the people who do believe in simulation theory, then that means you also believe in God, right? You just call him the user, right? The programmer, right? There has to be, if you're in a simulation, there must be a control unit, right? Is that what the master control unit, MCU, right? That's what the Tron, he was the MCU.
Oh, right. He was like the main computer. Yeah, right.
But yeah, man, it's very interesting. But like I said, it's semantics.
Yeah, I think it's just a modern way to kind of like, based on where technology is and the things that we're into.
Yeah.
To like try to make sense of all this shit, right? Like life is fucking crazy, dude. Like You know, it's funny when you say that, like, just have fun. And that's all
Yeah.
I try to do, right?
Yeah, right.
I try to
Be
treat
zen.
people well. Yeah,
Try
be
to relax.
zen, right?
I think the worst thing you could do to yourself is I've always been okay with physical anguish. Always put yourself through physical anguish if you can afford it in your system. But try to the less stress you put on your mental is it's if that's my one advice to anyone, the longer you'll live, the happier
Right.
you'll be. Stop stressing yourself out. It brings you to the same page.
Correct. But in that, don't try to avoid the hard stuff, right?
No,
you know what
no,
I mean? 'Cause,
absolutely. You go for the
'cause,
hard
yeah,
stuff.
like trauma, like you just said it, right? Like if I never experienced some of the traumas that I have, I don't know if my life would be as full and as interesting, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I've overcame things because of things that I've seen and things that have happened. I decide to enjoy those moments or just say yes to everything too. That's another thing in like simulation theory, right? Where I'm just like, okay, wait,
Yeah.
huh? Like, and you helped
Yeah.
me learn that, you
Yeah.
know, after my life changed, you know, right? Or like going through like a divorce where it was so easy to say no to everything. Now I just don't,
Yeah.
right? I just like, I see that like skill tree or not skill tree that like,
I
like,
don't know.
text thread
I don't know
pop
if I
up,
want to
you
take away go the Jim Carrey say yes to everything method,
Yes.
but
Well-
I say definitely if like for instance if you prepare for something a long time and then you get anxiety to trust that you prepared yourself. Relax, breathe, definitely breathe right through it, enjoy it. Stressors suck, right?
No, it does.
You know,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Especially when I can't express to you and I've been there. Ryan's been there.
Oh God, yes.
So you could say to someone, "Hey, I'm going to bring you to the levels of suck." All right, I'm in the suck, so I know the suck. And then when someone hands you a page of suck while you're in the suck, and you're like, "Wait," and then they say, "Yeah." Not only that, but you got to read it and you got to do the suck. You have to be the punch that passes around the suck, and you're like, "Fuck, dude, that sucks." You know what I mean? And then but then when we get out of it, you have to be able to turn it into it like and thank God for complacency, right? Thank God for don't just say keep the mind focused and no distraction. Shh. Sometimes you need the distraction. We've been rocket attacked, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then handling the first rocket attack and watching people die for under plastic fences and whatnot, and you're like, wait a minute, what?
No, I'll never forget. I won't name names, but I'll never forget my first indirect fire attack. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're advanced party, right? So they would ramp up their attacks, knowing that when units were switching in and out, right? And we're like day 2 or some shit. I don't even know. And we're standing outside. We got like our laundry bags or whatever, and this rocket attack happens, right? And it's just beautiful, right? I know it sounds weird, but it's like. It's
the
amazing to
plumes.
see.
The
And
plumes.
it's way on the other side of the flight line. It's like
Yeah.
miles away. And I'm standing there. I smoked at the time. So I'm like smoking a cigarette. And just like the physics of it. Like you see it. Boom. And then
Yeah.
you hear it. And it's awe inspiring. And I'm like, I'm fucking here, right? And I'm watching this thing. And I get fucking tackled.
Yeah.
Like tackled. Get your cover, Marine! And I'm just like my knees all scuffed up, my cigarette's gone sideways, and I'm like, what kind of fucking retard are you?
Oh my
to
God.
not understand
I
the
think-
physics of
I
what's
think that's a
it's like 3 miles away. Do you have any idea how long that flight line is? Just like, let me enjoy this. Haji's not coming over the wire.
Yeah. All right, so on the
Sorry to go on a side note.
No. I think it's a great segue. So let's talk about the simulation theory. There could be some people may have power user, right? Because
Okay.
so like speaking on him when Ryan tells you his story and how this is beautiful. Wait, he's enjoying it, bam, right?
Oh,
And then when it happens to me, it's like, boom, boom. All right, I'll get behind this concrete. And you're trying to be sensible. And then you're going, hey, what was that? What was the warnings that you were given? Fence line. Well, where's the fence line? Well,
3 miles that way.
well, no, it wasn't that. It was like, well, there's 4 fences.
Yep.
What fence line is it?
Yeah.
And
Iraqi police.
And then, so I'm like, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I guess so. I don't want to not lock and load. Fine, I'll lock and load. So I lock and load. I'm sitting in my concrete barrier. There's no one here. Everyone's in chow. Nobody walks with me, right?
Yeah.
Here comes Nuts.
Because we've only been there for like, what,
next to me,
couple
and
days.
he sits down with 203. So I'm thinking, wow, nice, my foxhole. We got
Yeah.
203. We're gonna
Yeah, we got to have some
survive.
indirect fire
I said,
myself.
dude, you got rounds for that? He responds with knocking me out of my fucking immersion. Goes, you think they give me rounds for this? And I'm like, it sucks because we were an I in charge of reservists, and you're like, it sucks. And then here comes the people we're replacing during the rocket attack, because they're already complacent.
Yeah,
You
they've
just
been there
got
for, what, 7 months at
Yeah,
that point?
And they walk past you, and he goes, "What are you going to do, shoot them out of the sky?" And then you say that, it's funny, but my brain's like, I bet you, I'm a pretty good shot. I can shoot that out of the sky. And then you want to go, I'm the angel.
Yeah.
I'm picked to have live ammo. You know what I mean? So, again, it's that, just like when we were in Camp Helen when we were prepping to go.
Yeah.
And the Lance Corporal comes up to me and goes, "How the fuck do you have internet in your room?" I put it there. And he goes, "Nobody else gets away with this shit. Why do you keep getting away with all this stuff?" I didn't ask. It wasn't in the rule book. I have the same rule book as you do. You know what I mean? So I get it to where when we hear, "Hey, it's a rocket attack," and because of me, we're all playing games at that time in that squad con, right?
Yeah, the reference was always way back when we saw an MWR, so Marine
Welfare
it's not network, whatever.
MWR.
Basically
Relief? Maybe?
No, like their commercial, whatever. So
Anyway.
There was a commercial at one point. It was these 3 guys that were like on Navy float. I don't know if it was during the war or not. And they were like, "We played games while we were in the Navy, and then like here's our reunion." And I was like, "Fuck you, man! Our video game during war stories way better."
Yeah,
'Cause-
during rocket attack.
Yeah, during Dan has all this stolen equipment. We've like completely like networked all
Not
our
stolen,
work.
ladies and gentlemen.
Borrowed.
Refurbed.
Like it's created like a whole
Yeah.
like local network, and
Yeah.
we just gamed. That was like
Yeah.
that was the way we dealt with the
Before
insanity
setting up
of the
Blue Force
shit
Tracker and
we
shit
were
like that.
doing. So we would literally be playing every night, and the siren would go off. The siren.
The red phone would ring.
And we'd throw on our protective gear. We'd open up the door, and we got so good at it, we'd be like, "No, it's on the side of the fly line. We're fine."
Well,
They're
you
not
could
going to
see it.
sound
You
the
could see
alarm.
it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you could,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, man, we got to that point. At one point.
And it was extremely complacent, but you're talking to the same guy who kicked his helmet across the thing just because I didn't see the idea of during a rocket attack, I needed to leave my area and walk to the safe area.
Correct.
It made no sense to me.
When they're all packed in there anyway
Yeah.
with sandbags to begin
Yeah.
with. And those
I
things
have
were-
sand. Why do I got to go to your area during the rocket attack?
Well, maybe this will turn into another
Yeah.
another podcast conversation. How are we doing on time?
I think it's time to start a segment.
Oh, so we're gonna take a little break and throw up a segment. Is that what I understand?
Yeah. Why not?
Unfortunately, the people that are watching on my Twitch need to go over to
ResDev
Pro
Live, if you want.
or ResDev.live to actually watch the real
We should bring
thing.
you right to the YouTube.
Yeah,
and just
at
click
some
the live
point I'm
button.
going to stop doing this, and hopefully you guys actually come over to here. But for now, while it's small,
Get your
potatoes,
asses over to
Yeah.
the right store.
get your people over to the right spot. Because
Um,
then you can see these awesome clips. Because on mine,
So
you can't.
let me
It's
hit the
not-
right one. So what this will do is this was going to bring us into the Be Right Back montage or whatever that's called, while we set up for gaming. So see you in a minute.
Sweet. Yep. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are going to start doing a beer showcase once a month where we showcase a brewery that we like. So we decided to start with a good one with some good visual keys, and that's Robinson's Brewery and their collab with Iron Maiden. Because both Dan and I, how can you not love Iron Maiden? And the artwork is just fantastic. So,
Legacy of the Beast World Tour 2020.
yeah, good collectible kind of start with here. If you're into the swag, we're a little bit swag junkies. So Robinson's Brewery is one of United Kingdom's oldest family-run breweries. Something like 181 years. So we're going to start with that, and Dan is going to go over a couple little things here on the doodads and whatnot, but this is our first showcase, so we're going to
All right, so basically you can get the Day of the Dead, the Trooper comes with two, I think it's six. Well, it says right here. I don't have to do it. My brain. two 1-pint bottles. Doesn't come with the glass, but it's really cool. It has some good artwork, which is basically the same what you're seeing here. Then these boxes are the same thing. They basically come with the Legacy Tour glass. But if you flip them, you'll either get the Samurai Son of Steel or you'll get the Trooper. Oddly enough, I found out that this was even a brewery, a beer at Whorehound.
Whorehound was the first time we had it.
Yeah. And I was eager to got it, and I think the reason they did it then, I even got his signature. The artist.
He was there.
Yeah, and he did a little doodle. I'll show that one time on Instagram or something. But basically, it comes with 2 Trooper styles and 1 Son of Steel. Then you have your Fear of the Dark Stout. Basically comes with this awesome glass right here, Fear of the Dark, and 1 stout, and a nice tin. I don't know what we're going to use it for, but it'll go to the next
Halloween
studio.
appropriate.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're gonna actually try one of these, if not more. But we're both interested in this. What is it again? Sun and Steel, which
Yeah,
is very
anytime I heard the word infusion, I definitely want to try the beer.
So it said, what is it, a sake infused
Yeah,
rice
yeah, yeah.
lager, I think
Yeah.
it said, which is cool because the Trooper we've had before, and it's like a pretty standard British style like pub lager, right? A little malty. So we've had this one before, and then Dan can tell you why you will not see Fear of the Dark just yet.
Yeah. So the reason why you can't do it is because it is stout, and we are doing for put that beer back where it came from. Suggestions, please.
Yeah,
comment below.
name suggestions, totally welcome.
So basically, this is one of the stouts today that he'll be trying to figure out which beer belongs in which brewery. So I can't let him taste this yet. You know what I mean? So
Cheating.
so we're gonna try this one right here. I'll probably get it over.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited.
I'll let Ryan pour. He's a
Oh.
better pourer.
Can I give it a little sniff? Oh yeah, I can smell it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
sake.
Yeah, I think so. It has a little bit of like a boozy kind of wine.
Oh, he liked the smell, everybody. He gave
Jeez.
himself a good glass.
Or maybe it's just a. Yeah, no, I feel like I can smell it.
Flour? Or?
No, it's hard to explain. It just has
Citrus?
like a little like a boozy note to the back end of it.
Really?
Maybe that's the sake infusion. I do know it's new.
Oh.
Right? You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, cheers everybody. This
Cheers.
is Robinson's Brewery's Sun and Steel.
I play this in my name, but we get
Okay.
muted.
Maybe we will if it's a small enough section.
Yeah,
No?
maybe. We'll see.
It's good, man.
That's really good.
Yeah. It's just.
I feel infused.
I feel sake-gated. No, it's it's easy to drink. Kind of has that like tinny kind of.
It's not a bitter. It's
Yeah, so I've had rice lagers before,
Yeah.
and they always have that kind of like metallic, not in a bad way, kind of like tinny taste to it, which I like.
yeah, it's
And
all
then,
like an acidy maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not so much a citrus, but it's the sake. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
The sake.
That's just like a really easy. I could crush a bunch of these.
Mm.
Easy like summer
And,
disc golf beer.
Amazingly enough, I don't know if they do it on purpose, whether it's an England rule or something like that. They're all below 5% alcohol, and it's really hard, I think, for a stout to be under 5%.
Yeah.
As you will see today, I think this is the lowest out of the
ABV,
alcohols
yeah,
that
right.
exist
'Cause
today.
I'm used to seeing stouts,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
high.
Well, 9. I think there's 11. It could be even a 17.
Yeah, I've seen those imperial stouts, and they're like 12, and I'm just like, oh my god, you trying to kill me? But yeah, so any suggestions on breweries you think we should showcase that have cool swag or just really good beer and good varieties? But
And that would give it free because this shit's expensive.
oh yeah, no, that'd be great. Once if you ever want to donate, if you are our brewery and you want us to showcase your beers,
We'll showcase the swag. We'll even send it back to you if you really need it back.
please email us.
Yeah,
and let
not
us
the
know.
beer though.
But yeah, we'd love to get to that point at some point in the future. But yeah.
And now we will magically come into here, and I don't know where you would say here.
Thank you, Robinson's Brewery.
Yeah, thanks Robinson Brewery and Iron Maiden's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll put a little snippet of maybe Aces High or The Trooper
We'll
or
see how far it
my
goes.
favorite song from Iron Maiden is Moonchild. So maybe
Not
a
familiar
little.
with that one?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, so let's see. I'm gonna do. And snap! Here we go.
And we're back.
The beers we have today is Robinson's Brewery. We talked about it already. Is Fear of the Dark. We have New Holland Brewing Company, Dragon's Milk, North Coast Brewing Company's Old Rasputin, and Deschutes Brewery Obsidian Stout. Now, the one I could not get due to the fact that they only released after Thanksgiving was Goosehead Bourbon County, something or other. But they would have been the top 4 stouts, and we added Fear of the Dark due to the showcase. And as you can see here, if Ryan steps to the side for a second, he will not get any assistance in color. And you will also see there are 5 and not 4. So there is a what I call the fifth wheel. We have a loser beer. So to make things harder, because I was told I gave him a process of elimination with putting a hazy in there and no other hazy.
Well, yes. I mean, you're making this. You're really gearing it up, making it extremely more difficult, which I think is totally unfair, ladies.
Well,
and
it's a good
gentlemen.
measure, right?
Yeah,
0
no,
to
for
10.
sure.
You know,
That's
then
good.
I'll figure out the play.
But we have not segued into what we're actually doing.
I'm sorry. Yes,
That's okay.
we are put that beer where it came from. I apologize. I think our previous video segued.
Yeah. No. We can always have make an intro. Too.
Yeah, maybe even a thing.
So this is where I blind taste test beers that Dan picks out, and try to put them back where they belong.
Absolutely, and not only that, but Ryan, as opposed to last time, he can actually pick up the bottles because these are
Thank
cap
God.
bottles, not the ones I
Yeah,
poured.
because he's giving me like no description.
Once he picks them, we'll flip the plate
Alright.
to find out if he put them in.
All right, we're just gonna jump in here. I'm just gonna start doing it here. Wow. And I don't normally drink stouts. This is like triple, double fucked. What the fuck? This is like hot start, dude. All right. Okay, it tastes good. It tastes like a stout. No chocolate stout, no double, triple, quadruple barreled stout,
Alright.
no bourbon barrels. It just tastes like a good stout.
Well, I tell you what, then you just by that you should have made it easier for yourself.
Oh yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
I'll do that for now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with this because sorry. I don't want to say watery. It's not the right word, but it feels light. And I
Alright.
know that this one's like really low ABV, so this one smells completely different.
Oh, that's good.
Wow, that's a really interesting tasting stout. So yeah, this one tastes like has more substance to it. It doesn't taste like light and kind of watery. It's not really sweet, kind of walnutty. Again, we're not Cicerone certified yet. We will be soon.
We will be, yeah.
That's coming later on. So I'm making this up as I go.
Hopefully,
Wow.
it's not like the pilot
This
lessons
is-
where you have to retest.
Oh, dude, I was just looking at it in the hallway. It's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one. It's like nutty and like, yeah, it's got like a nuts to it.
I got nuts
Got
on it.
nuts. All right, random cult following. Tense brew, big complex, warming finish. That sucks. Nowhere does it say walnuts.
Oh, that was the
Dark
other.
chocolate,
That
so
was the
not
other.
this
Yeah.
one.
Tell them what flowers and caramel and stuff like that is what the other hint that apparently I have to ease up on. But like I said, it's a 0 out of 10. We'll figure out a good.
Signature stout carries on the tradition. Roasted malt, notes of coffee, chocolate marinated with sweet undertones of vanilla and oak from a 3-month stay. Fuck, it's not that one either. Sorry, I don't want this to last forever. Oh man, that thing's fucking weird. Oh, that's right. There's a fucking retard one. You're such an asshole. There's like a one that doesn't even exist, motherfucker. All right, I can smell the chocolate in this one. Whoa, that's delicious. It's totally bourbon.
Yeah.
This is going over to retard. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say that. My bad. That's amazing. That's whoa.
Yeah.
That's super tasty. I can even see the red a little bit. Oh yeah,
Okay.
look at that coming off the light. That's delightful. Super sweet, not too sweet. I can taste the chocolate. I can feel the booze. I like that very much. This one's just pretty inert, I guess. All right, here we go. Keep going. What's with this? Hey guys. Okay. I gotta find some.
Wow, retard and gay.
Yeah, I need like a saddle rest or something for like. Okay. Whoa, that doesn't even taste like a stout. It almost, I don't even know what it tastes like. Wow, that's really good. Huh? I can't even describe that one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean there's no chocolatey. I don't really taste any chocolate finish. Does it say chocolate?
No, actually, I don't remember what.
It was a rhetorical question. Goddammit.
Rhetorical.
Alright. Russian, intense brew, big complex flavors, warm finish. I think we're there. Okay. I'm feeling confident.
Need better stickers.
Whoa, that's weird. It's like raisiny.
Ooh.
So again, man, this is so fascinating. Beer is so fucking fascinating. This tastes so different than all the others. You can tell it's a stout, but I can't even explain what that is. It's like berry. It's kind of sweet. Ah, it's really good. Bold dark espresso, dark chocolate. Shit balls. Huh. So I'm super confident. This fucking thing sucks, dude. 'Cause this doesn't. So what did this say? This said, all right. It's bold stout notes, espresso, dark chocolate. I didn't get any chocolate with this one. Oh shit. It's weird, man. You didn't even give me
You
a
good, bro?
palate cleanser. I probably should.
I
be.
didn't. Oh man, I
It's
forgot all
okay,
about
it's
that.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do
Oh
one.
no, I said bring your own. That's right. I remember. I said bring your own.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
what kind of producer is this? This guy's rough. I'm gonna do another run through.
Yeah, my takeaway from this whole thing is I made it too easy. And I would like to point out, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand what I gave him. I didn't give him a wide, because IPAs is such a wide variety of top and bottom of everybody putting into what they think is a beer. These are the top stouts, top end stouts.
100%.
So he loses one, really sucks, right? And then this is fantastic because they're just too close together. So, but they are different tastings. I made sure of that.
Yeah.
And they're not. There's no hazy. There's no black walls or
This is so good. That's so interesting.
And I have a brain injury, everybody. Come on.
Yeah, but it's getting a little.
Yeah. Now it's too much, huh?
This is so strange. It's like raisiny. All right, I'm just gonna go with this.
All right,
Right,
but before we reveal though, you must pick out your best first,
Well, all right.
and then find out what it is.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then let's just make sure that the dud. I hate this. I absolutely hate this.
You hate that? Wait, what do you hate, Ryan? Do you hate there's a fifth wheel?
Yes, I do. It's so not cool. Especially because it's so hard with no descriptions in it.
Yeah. So maybe we'll bring descriptions back. Well, maybe we'll bring descriptions back.
No, I like how fifth wheel can come
Yeah.
in,
No,
you know?
fifth wheel's staying. I love the idea of fifth wheel, but maybe we'll bring descriptions back. For those who can't see the signs, all I gave him was the alcohol content and the IBU.
I didn't even look at the IBU.
But even though these are two of the bottles, right? He would have to taste what he feels is the alcohol or IBU.
Shit, IBU changes a little bit.
Does it?
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with it.
Sticking with it?
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. Oh, so
Right.
my favorite.
What's
my
your
favorite.
favorite? Yeah.
Is this one, which I'm hoping is a Rasputin. This is so interesting. It
Verify that it is the one you picked, or the one you favorited, because I do believe you
Sorry,
loved S. That's okay. His OBS and voice mod are going nuts.
Yeah, but it's so obviously this. I mean, it's good, but it's like Okay, you want? I'm sorry. It's only our second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I know it's that. It's sweet. It's just too much, right? Like I couldn't. Oh my god. Can I step off camera or no?
Yeah. Please hold while he goes and murders whatever he keeps doing. Oh, just volume up, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
My bad. So this is my favorite.
D is his favorite.
But my palate's just wrecked right now. So,
all right, ladies and
Hence
gentlemen.
the no water palate cleanser. Okay. All right. Do you know how you want to do
Brain
this?
injury. Yeah. Well, we'll just go right to yeah.
Oof.
Hey!
Oh, all right.
All right.
I got them all. I got them all. I'm 4 for 4 again. I know it.
S!
I got him 4 for 4 again.
T! And obviously R over here. Working on the way, right? Good job, buddy.
Awesome.
Good job.
You
Good
did
job,
good. Thank you,
Doug.
sir.
Ah, son of a bitch. All right, yeah. And his favorite
Fantastic.
ended up
Yeah.
being the Rasputins,
So
which
good.
I love because it's a lot smaller and it makes it on top, right? So,
It's like so.
but I do know that when you tasted them, you were like the Dragon Milk was fantastic.
Yeah.
And keep that in mind. All of these right here are top shelf.
Oh, by far
Yeah.
some of the best stouts I've ever tried. Like this is so complex and interesting. It's just not like what you consider like a normal stout. Like I can't explain it. It's good, man.
Can you back up one
Yeah,
second?
yeah, of course.
And I will bring I have to
Oh,
throw-
the fifth wheel. I gotta
Yeah.
stop calling you the retard.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the fifth beer was actually brought to you free by Penn Thrift off of New Falls
Oh,
Road.
fantastic.
And they wanted to throw him, and now I have to say his
Yeah,
throw beer
yeah.
did not work.
No.
And that belongs in the fifth wheel category.
It was stressful. That was,
No, it was
difficult.
Thirsty Miner chocolate stout.
Yeah, so it helped me able to manhandle the bottle.
Yeah, yeah. And
100%.
FYI, if you want to think that chocolate would have thrown them off, they all have chocolate in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
and I'm
right.
pretty sure. I don't know if it's a stout thing, but they all have hints of chocolate. So
So yeah, so definitely the tipper on this one was the ABV,
yeah,
right? You can just taste it.
this
It
is
has,
easier.
it has like a lightness to
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? Like watered down is like a negative connotation, so it's not watery. It's just light. It doesn't, it's not in a bad way, right? More like a session thing. And this is super sweet, and you can taste the bourbon. You can like smell it. You can hit that boozy back end. But it's delightful. But one of these would probably be like wow, like not a big session stuff. This is fascinating. This is just yeah.
It's number 2. I'm eager to find out what the goose that took number 1 is.
Yeah, I mean, I could drink that any time. That's really really good. And this thing's super interesting too. Yeah, it's like sweeter. It's
Number
kind of
3. I think this is number 3.
raisiny.
This is quickly going up to the top though. The Dragon's Milk.
I can see why, but I think this is a little bit.
The
See.
headway.
Yeah, so this is like sweet. It's closer to this one, but this is just kind of. Excuse me. It's like I almost died. My bad. Yeah, this is fascinating. So I can see why this is popular.
Yeah.
But this has like more subtleness
Gotcha.
to
Alright,
it,
cool,
more
cool,
like
cool.
little notes. But dude, I'm super stoked.
I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly have a lot of homework to do to get them on the next one. The next one is Hefeweizens. Hefeweizens. I was already told 2 of
Okay,
which I
cool.
needed to make sure that were on the list. And actually another one is being donated. Unless we
Awesome.
showcase, I think I know how, unless if we're doing a showcase, like introducing another stout that we did.
And please send us any suggestions of how we can implement things into this
Yeah, if you
segment.
got any ideas, like I said, I'm always willing to take. Penn Thrift wanted to throw in an extra beer. Actually, they wanted to be a tasting beer, but it was Richboro Distributors. I think was the guy gave me. He goes, "No,
cool.
you need to throw in a fifth wheel," and that's what we.
Yeah, in
But
fact,
as you saw,
it kind of
yeah,
needs
yeah,
to happen.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I hate it, but
Yeah.
but yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I love doing this. Please give us suggestions. I want to keep doing this as long as possible.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
man.
super
Well, eventually these will be up on their own on ResDev, and we'll pick a category once I get the chance to edit them. We're trying to keep everything afloat, and let's end it here so we got some work to do.
Yeah, snap your fingers.
Take care, guys.
Wait, no, you gotta do the finger snap.
Oh yeah,
But there's more. So I'm absolutely loving this segment and what Dan has created, but it's a little like one-sided.
Yeah.
So I recently had a beer that I was like, holy shit, my opportunity to turn it back on Dan. So I'm not going to get too much into it because I'll totally give it away. But this is a blind taste test for Dan. I would like him to drink that, take a couple sips, and let us know, specifically me know, what that. Okay. I had too many stouts. I want you to tell me what that reminds you of.
Okay,
Tell me
so
what that is.
FYI, I can already start smelling it, so the brain's starting to fire.
Okay.
I brain injury,
Yes.
known for my faces because my brain's like, it's all lava. It all tastes bad, and it takes so much time for me to figure out what flowers taste like, and that flowers are a thing. So I'm telling you, and then I'm known for the face I give. So I'm not trying to. But you're saying my mission objective here is to drink this beer and tell you what I think.
Right. No. Okay, let me rephrase. I want you to drink this beer and tell me if it reminds you of anything.
Reminds me of anything.
Well, concerning you and I and Resdev.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's it.
Parameters.
I don't. You're not.
Parameters locked.
You're not reviewing the beer.
It's what
I want to see
moment
what
in
I want to
history
see,
of
exactly.
R&D.
I want to see what your brain does when you drink that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan's whatever he's gonna call this. I can't actually place the smell.
I don't think I've ever given it a hard smell, so I'm not really sure.
Indianapolis. Indianapolis, ladies and gentlemen, this is help me. Don't tell me. It was a beer that knocked us. Made me chase somebody around the bar to figure out what the beer was.
Give me the memory.
The memory is, they were giving free beer away. I walked up to the bar. We just got in. A Marine was with the bouncer, so I stayed with him a little bit. He was talking, Marine Corps stuff. I said, "Hey man, I got this." I went to the bar. It is Whorehound's pre-show.
It was a pre-party.
Yeah, pre-party.
The night before.
Ryan's already fed up that his app for the scooters isn't working correctly, so I think he's trying to master that. That's where he is. And I said, "Man, I'll go get the beer." Whoever the owner of this, what would you call it, brewery, was behind the bar, or no, comes up to the bartender, goes, "Give this guy 2 of ours. I got it." And I'm like, thanks, man. And initially disappointed, I would like to pick my own beer.
Yes.
I'm not in this is my off time. I wanted to pre-pick my beer, but take them, like, fuck it, they're free. And then we went over to, I gave it to Ryan, and then I tasted the beer, and then I said, holy shit, where's this guy? Where are you? Because I knew it was local. We need to do something, and we need to go find this brewery right now.
So it was fantastic. We loved it. We drank a bunch of them. And with Dave's brain injury, he has a little bit of issues with just how alcohol affects his system. And it was the first time you got.
Oh wait, am I right?
No, so I don't want to
No, it's not this. I know you can't get it.
It can't. You're right. Because they don't distribute up there. But it's the one beer that I found that's the closest to Chili Waters.
Chili Waters, thank you.
Blood Orange IPA.
Blood Orange. All right.
But
no, whatever this is, Blood Orange is better. Chili Waters, Blood Orange is better.
Of
I can taste it and know there's a hint, but I promise you, best effing beer I've had. Yeah. Like one of those top memories.
And it was the first time you had been inebriated in a long time post brain injury.
Oh yeah. Only few things have happened.
It's rare. It's rare. Like, he's a great designated driver. But yeah, so I had that the other night, and I was like, holy shit, this tasted just like Chili Waters.
Yeah, it's damn good. Is it say it's Blood Orange?
No, it does not. It is Heavy Seas Tropicana Citrus IPA.
Oh, grapefruit, right?
No, so Tropicana, the Unbound Wanderer.
Is the symbol for grapefruit? I don't understand.
It's a citrus twist on the American IPA.
Oh, it's not a sticker can.
No, it's not. These guys are kind of like.
I approve non-sticker can. I don't know why. I just don't.
Dude, I'm so
I
excited.
think it's at your level of beer making.
So today, huge success. Not only do I go 4 for 4,
yeah,
Dan was able to trigger the brain memory I was going for.
I have to admit though, I was like, oh, please don't be that peanut butter fucking jelly.
I wouldn't do that. Well, maybe I would.
Yeah.
Talk.
I'm talking. Hello, everybody. How can you hear me? This guy is fucking dead. He's like, I don't like Halloween because I'm fucking dead.
They may be hearing an issue with audio. I'm going to change that right now.
Who they?
Who they is.
Are
they.
you getting messages saying there's no audio?
No, just a few.
Gotcha. Excuse me. Responds to people who are alone. All right. Whatever, bro.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can read that. Welcome back, everybody. We're watching Ryan's screen right now. We're getting ready to hit Phasmo. We had some issues with this audio. I'm trying to bring in my audio right now. So at least you'll be able to hear it without the
So we need to detect a ghost presence with a motion sensor. I didn't grab a motion sensor, did you?
I have. No, I did not grab
Prevent the
it.
ghost from hunting with a crucifix. Have a member of your team witness the ghost event. So, should I grab a cross and a motion sensor?
Sure.
Which one were the motion sensors? So this one was sound. That's temperature. I'll have to wait for Dan with his better knowledge of this.
All right, we're good. They should be able to hear at least me move around.
Okay. Not. What are they going to hear your mic off of my mic?
Yeah, well, they hear both our audio.
Okay.
And then we're gonna be close. So I'm gonna hit the button now to open.
No.
the door.
So no. Looking at this cork board, it says we motion sensor crucifix. Which one's a motion sensor? Do you remember?
The motion sensor is this one right here. This janky boy with the red dot.
The box. Okay.
Yeah. But what else did you grab? The EMF, right?
I have an EMF. Should I grab a motion sensor?
I would grab a motion. I mean, if you got a spot, I don't know if the flashlight counts for one. Does it let you grab another thing?
No, it's not. How do I drop?
Scroll through what you have.
EMF.
EMF.
Temperature.
And temperature. Drop. Temperature.
And what's drop again?
G. Yeah. That way we can put that right in the first hallway and hopefully get that sucker
All right.
out
Now
the
I have a
back.
motion sensor. If this is a motion sensor,
All right.
I
Cool.
don't have a crucifix, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure out where it is first. So.
Okay. What's sprint?
Shift.
got
You
it.
only get so much of it.
Thank you.
And remember, it's a VR kind of control, so we can turn on lights
Yeah,
though.
you are janky as fuck. Oh, look at the kitty cat. Hello?
Oh, if you see a bone, leave it. We got to take a picture of it. All right,
Okay.
this closet's empty.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you. Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the investigation. Whoever was here must have summoned the ghost with a cursed object. Investigate it, but be careful. We don't know what it's capable of.
Bye.